I'm starting to get really annoyed by this whole Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, next big thing, best fighter in the world chat. I've done a few videos on Triple G recently and I've tried to be even about him. I've tried to, not be critical, not be overexcited, raise some questions about who he's fought, raise some questions about his skill set, raise questions about how he'd do against Canelo, against Andre Ward, those sort of guys. Honestly, the following this guy has, it's like a religion. It is like a religion. I get home from work, I log on to my YouTube account, I have a look at the comments that I get over the course of the day on my videos. Now, usually I'll come home, I'll have 5 or 6 comments. I know I'm not running a big, successful YouTube channel here. And I'd have 5 or 6 comments from people who've been following my channel from the beginning, regular names, regular faces that pop up over and over again, have a little bit of banter with them, bit of back and forth, all good crack. Today I get home, it was over 60 comments, right? Now, that's a good thing. I like the fact that people are watching my videos, commenting on them. But all of them are coming out to back the messiah that is Gennady Golovkin. And it seems clear to me that these guys are people who've seen his fights, seen his power, and obviously don't have a clue about boxing, haven't been watching boxing whatsoever, don't even know who Sergey Kovalev is. These are people who have just seen 1 or 2 fights of him and have decided that he's the best boxer in the history of the world and would knock out Joe Fraser. And it's really starting to get too much, the love for this guy, I think. It's absolutely crazy. And it's the same guys who are so obsessed with Triple G. So a fly, I'm losing it on a fucking fly, it just flew past me. But it's the same guys who are so obsessed with Triple G, who are so obsessed by Anthony Joshua, who are so obsessed by Deontay Wilder. It's these guys who look at boxing, see power, see knockouts, and don't really understand the history of the sport. They don't understand anything more than boxing. And they don't get that at certain stages of the game, power is simply not enough. I've had people messaging me, texting me, commenting on my videos today saying, "Oh, Triple G is fighting Frotz. How much do you think Frotz will be able to take him the distance? Do you think Frotz would be able to get into the second half of the fight?" Are you kidding? Frotz is a weight class up. He's proven at a much higher level than Triple G. He's got an iron chin against guys, world-class super middleweights. And you think Triple G, a small middleweight who went 11 rounds with Martin Murray, is going to be able to get rid of Carl Frotz? Quite frankly, I take Frotz easy in that fight. Easy. He's so much bigger, so much stronger than Triple G. I mean, these guys who are new to the sport and who are just getting on the Triple G bandwagon, have they not heard of Arthur Abraham? Now, I'm not saying that Triple G is the same as Arthur Abraham. I actually think Triple G may even be slightly better than Arthur Abraham. But Abraham's another guy. He had this fearsome reputation at middleweight. Fearsome, mega puncher. Moved up to super middleweight, moved up to the bigger guys, moved up to a more competitive division. What happened? The knockouts dried up. This is a guy who was known as one of the biggest punchers in the sport. Suddenly, he wasn't knocking out Paul Smith. He wasn't knocking out Robert Stieglitz. He is being schooled by Andre Durrell. Now, I think GGG's upside is maybe higher than Arthur Abraham's, but it's not inconceivable something similar could happen to Triple G at super middleweight. Because to my eye, the guy is limited outside of power. He's got no inside game. He's got no back foot game. His defence, let's be honest, his defence is terrible. His defence is terrible. He is so hittable. And yet people are saying, they buy into the rumours of this guy. Triple G could have ended it against Willie Monroe Jr. in round 2. No, he couldn't have. If he could have ended it, he would have done. Triple G could box like Floyd Mayweather, but he doesn't because he wants to entertain the fans. Are you kidding me? Triple G has no defence. Floyd Mayweather is the elite defensive fighter of all time. I even had one guy comment on my video today. Triple G has the power of most heavyweights. Would you back Martin Murray to go 11 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko? Would you back Curtis Stevens to go 8 rounds with Deontay Wilder? I mean, get real. The guy is a big puncher at middleweight. But the level of opposition he's been in with is not good. Not good. Let's look at the names in and around his division he hasn't fought. And yeah, people will buy into the hype. Oh, they're ducking him, they're ducking him. They're not all ducking him. You know, why is it that Triple G is calling out names like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? You know, perhaps he's being selective. I mean, let's look around. Let's look at the fighters he hasn't fought. Demetrius Andrade, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Erislandy Lara, Peter Quillen, Andy Lee, Miguel Cotto, Danny Jacobs, Carl Froch, Andre Ward, James DeGale, Andre Durrell. These are all names I give a solid chance of having success against Gennady Golovkin. David Lemieux is another one. Quite frankly, a fighter who can push this guy back, a fighter who's got a chin and has got a bit of snap himself, has a chance against this guy. Because this is a guy who looks good when he has it his own way. He looks good when he's on his front foot. He looks good when he's the power puncher against guys with weak jaws and weak fists. You know, if he's up against a strong guy like Canelo who's going to push him back, you know, test him to the body, test out his back foot game, expose his defensive frailties. I mean, the guy cannot even block an uppercut. And people are saying he could box like Floyd Mayweather. He just he wants to entertain the fans. He could get people out of there in 30 seconds. He just wants to entertain the fans. He's got the power of a heavyweight, but he tries to box a bit because he wants to entertain the fans. I mean, you know, really, is it that, you know, all the top fighters in the division, you know, you got Floyd here, Manny here, Sergey Kovalev here, Andre Ward here, you know, all similar league, and you've got GGG up here. Is he the 160 pounder who punches like a 260 pounder? You know, why is it that he has to be so much better than everyone else? You know, surely, logically, if he's going to be the best fighter in the world, he's going to. It's small margins at the top of the sport. You know, he's going to be 1% better, 0.5% better. But no, the GGG disciples believe he's 100% better. It's getting almost, as I say, it's getting religious. The sort of swaves of GGG followers, and I'm not trying to take the mick out of people who are genuine boxing fans, who like GGG, who are fans of his style, who think he's got the upside. What it is the people who don't know about boxing, who are coming in, you know, insisting, like, everybody who knows about boxing knows that this guy doesn't have Floyd Mayweather skill, that he doesn't have heavyweight power. You know, he's a very good middleweight. It's yet to be seen if he is a world-class super middleweight. It's yet to be seen how he'll cope on the back foot. It's yet to be seen how he'll cope against someone with an elite inside game, against someone with power, against someone who can expose his defence. And I just don't see him, you know, this is a guy who's 33 years old and has never fought an elite fighter. Let me repeat that. He is 33 years old. He has never fought an elite fighter. And people are saying, you know, I hope he does fight Carl Froch. I hope and pray he fights Carl Froch. And I'll tell you why. Because that ends the debate after the Froch fight. If GGG steps up in weight and beats Carl Froch, there is no debate. The guy is legitimate. The guy is elite. However, if what likely happens, that Carl Froch goes out, loses the first 2 or 3 rounds, you know, but shows that he can take Triple G's power, you know, shows that he's not going to get knocked over, shows that Triple G doesn't hit harder than the population at a weight class above. Yeah, and when Carl starts to get into his groove, he pushes GGG back, he, you know, comes forward, he mauls him about, he roughs him up. Yeah, we see GGG blowing against Monroe, see what he's doing against Carl Froch after Carl's taken what he's got to offer. See how he responds when Carl Froch grapples with him, when Carl Froch smacks him to the body, when Carl Froch's relentlessness is coming at you for another 7-8 rounds, you know. Let's see how his iron chin holds up against a bigger man who can punch back, you know. Rant over. Video coming. Triple G versus Carl Frost coming very soon. Let me know your thoughts.